Hi, this is Tamim from Tam Tech Chat. Apple launched the first generation of Mac Studio with M1 Max chip in 2022, and I bought a Mac Studio with full M1 Max chip in June 2024 for personal use. Now, after using it for almost a year, I have decided to do a review starting with the specs. So this video is a rather quick review of the M1 Mac Studio with full M1 Max chip Part 1 as of June 2025. I will spend some more time with it before doing a full review on whether or not to buy a Mac Studio with full M1 Max chip in 2025, because Apple has already launched the 4th generation of Mac Studio with M4 Max chip not so long ago. But first, a quick disclaimer before the review. I have been using this fully spec M1 Mac Studio for personal use. It's my first time making a YouTube video, and I'm not paid or sponsored by anyone for making this video. So first thing first, finish, size and weight. This Mac Studio has a beautiful silver color with 9.5 cm of height and 19.7 cm width and depth. It weighs approximately 2.7 kg and it's packed with ports for connection and expansions. On the front, this Mac has two USB-C ports with speeds up to 10 GB per second, and SDXC card slot with up to UHS 2 support, which is a huge plus because when I'm working, I can dump an SD card from my camera or connect a hard drive to one of the USB-C ports without reaching the ports in the back. At the back, it has 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports with USB 4 support, each up to 40 GB per second, and it's backward compatible with all the generations of Thunderbolt like Thunderbolt 3 and 2. It has a 10 GB Ethernet with support for 1 gig, 2.5 gig and 5 gigs, and 10 GB Ethernet through RJ45. It also has 2 USB-A ports, each up to 5 GB per second, which you can use to plug in your peripherals, such as wireless mouse and keyboard or a hard drive. It has one HDMI 2.0 port, which you can use to connect a display with a higher refresh rate. Now I use this port to connect my 27-inch 144Hz Samsung curved gaming monitor, and it works flawlessly for me. It also has a 3.5mm headphone output with advanced support for high impedance headphones if you need it. And finally, it has an on and off button, all conveniently placed at the back. When it comes to video support, this Mac has a video support via HDMI and Thunderbolt ports, and you can hook up to 5 display ports and have simultaneous viewing on all displays all at the same time. Apple claims that it supports up to 4 displays with 6K resolution at 60 Hz over Thunderbolt 4 and one 4K display with 4K resolution at 60 Hz over a single HDMI port. Now I don't have monitors with 6K or even a 4K display to take advantage of all this power, and I understand that not everybody will buy this Mac to hook it up to 5 displays at a time, but it's possible if you need to. It also supports the standard DisplayPort output via Thunderbolt 4 in the back, and Thunderbolt 2 and even DVI and VGA is supported using adapters. This Mac has built-in speakers. That sounds okay, but you might want to use some external speakers anyway. Now for communication, it has a Wi-Fi 6, which is quite fast for my workflow, and it has Bluetooth 5.0, and I have connected my Apple Magic Keyboard, Logitech MX Master 3S, OnePlus Bullets Wireless Z, and Sony's WH-1000 XM4 headsets, and it works flawlessly with this Mac, and I had no issues with them. It also has 10 GB Ethernet that I talked about, which you can take advantage of via RJ45 if you have high-speed internet available. Now I bought mine used and it didn't come with a box because the previous owner couldn't find the box when I went to collect the Mac. But if you buy this Mac new or refurbished from an Apple store or a dealer, in the box the Mac Studio only comes with a nice mushy braided power cable. but the Thunderbolt 4 HDMI cable and mouse and keyboard are not included, and you have to buy them separately. Now the chip on this Mac has 10-core CPU with 8 performance and 2 efficiency cores, and it has 32 GPU cores, unlike the base model M1 Max that comes with 24-core GPU. It has 16-core neural engine for AI stuff and a whopping 400GB per second memory bandwidth. The media engine in this machine includes hardware accelerated H.264, HAVC, ProRes and ProRes RAW with dual ProRes encoding and decoding engines, which makes life so much easier when I'm editing ProRes or ProRes RAW videos shot on my iPhone 13 Pro Max. It also has a video decoding engine with a dual video encoding engine, which makes the video export time twice as fast in DaVinci Resolve. Now, when it comes to storage, this Mac has 1TB SSD, unlike the base model M1 Max that comes only with 512 gigs, and it's around half the speed of 1TB. This Mac also has 64GB of RAM or unified memory in Apple's term, which is great for editing videos and makes multitasking a lot easier, but the base model M1 Max comes only with 32 gigs of RAM. The ventilation system on this Mac is located at the back, and it sucks the air from underneath. And it's important to keep the surface of the desk clean and free from dust so it doesn't suck too much dust inside the machine. The fans on this Mac Studio are on another level. It's dead silent, even at the heaviest rendering of up to 45 minutes of 10-bit 5.3K GoPro footage in DaVinci Resolve or ProRes RAW videos shot on my iPhone 13 Pro Max. And I never hear the fans kicking at least once, which is mind-blowing and a huge plus for a system that is so powerful and yet so quiet. You literally can't hear the fans unless you bring your ear close to the back of the Mac Studio to hear the silent whispering of the fans spinning. And for me, as someone coming from the Windows world, it's an unbelievable experience. Now the downside is that this machine is not modular, and all of the parts except the SSD are soldered on the motherboard, and there is no chance of upgrading of RAM, CPU or the GPU. Which means once you bought it, you are pretty much stuck with the specs for the entire lifetime of this Mac. Who is this computer for, you may ask? Now, all the Mac Studio lineup is marketed towards the prosumers, a similar market to those who want to buy Mac Pro. But unlike the Mac Pro, the Mac Studio lineup is cheaper with a lot of power in a small chassis. That being said, you don't get all of the capabilities of the Mac Pro with a Mac Studio M1 Max or even a Mac Studio with M1 Ultra chip because of the PCIe slots, which makes Mac Pro kind of modular. By the way, in part 2, I will be doing a full review of this Mac Studio. I will do some synthetic benchmarking, real-life 5.3K 10-bit GoPro footage, and ProRes RAW video editing with DaVinci Resolve, some photo editing, and we'll also do some neural engine, AI and LLMs, a large language model tests, so stay tuned for part 2. This is it for today. Hope you find the video useful, and if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the full review.